So in this overview, Annie and I are going to walk you through the mileage reimbursement process and procedures for fall 2015, but this really could be for any semester, isn't that right, Annie?
Yes, it is.
Alrighty, so let's take a look at first the list of attachments that you should have access to. Those include the Supervision Travel Information Sheet, which we'll show you in a second, the Travel Claim Form, a sample travel claim form, and then the list of schools with the mileage chart. So let's take a look first at the university travel procedures and the regulations. So if I'm not mistaken, Annie, reimbursements are between the home and the assignment, or between the work location, CSUS, and the assignment location, but it's whichever is less. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So if, for example, I live right next door to wherever my supervision is, then you're only paying mileage from my door to the school side, right?
That is correct.
All right. And then if I want to check this myself, can I go ahead and use anything, or did you want me to do something in particular?
We request that you use MapQuest because that's what we use.
And so in order to get the MapQuest, let me just go to Google really quick. I suppose that I could just go to Google like this, and I type in MapQuest, and we go right on over, and it looks like right there I could find my directions and everything else right off of MapQuest, just like that, it looks like.
That's correct.
Great. Okay, but you also have everything conveniently located. I guess Linda did the heavy lifting on that to provide us with a list of schools and the mileage. And we have this for multiple and single subjects in special ed. Is that the case?
That's correct.
All right. So yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Anything that's not on there, then you would calculate the mileage, as we mentioned before, whichever is less.
Using MapQuest. Okay.
That is
so
correct.
just so that people can see, let me reduce the screen size a little bit, but this is the updated list, it looks like, for elementary and secondary and special ed. And then hopefully we'll have something like this for graduate one day, huh?
Correct.
Yeah, we'll work on that. All right, so that's the list of schools in the mileage chart that shows you whatever the shortest distance is what you'll be compensated for. All right. Now, there's another indication here that says fill out the attached supervision travel information sheet. So let me open that up so people can see that. And again, this is for fall 2015, but it could be for really any semester. So
correct.
Can I fill this out any darn time I want, Annie? Or?
No, you need to fill it out. That's the first thing you need to submit. So you will fill that out as soon as possible, and then you will submit that because we cannot process your travel claim until or any travel claims until you submit that.
Oh, got it. Okay, so this is a pretty important sheet of paper, it looks like.
Yes.
All right, and so then it looks like everything's fillable in here too. So if I went through and I put in my name, and I'll see if I can spell it. Branch, I guess I could put in graduate, and then I would put in my home address.
That is
and my
correct.
phone number and everything else. Okay, so that looks like it works. And then tell me about this, the list of school sites that you will visit for the semester, including the miles from your home to each site. Please use a full name of schools. So how would this work, Annie? For example, maybe it's going to be, let's say I'm going to an elementary school, and it's going to be something like Apple Valley Elementary.
That's correct.
What do I do next? Miles from my home to the site.
All the listings on there will be from your home to the various sites that you travel to.
Okay, and so then if, for example, I'm looking on the mileage to the school district, all of these miles, let me zoom into this, all of these miles here are from CSUS, it looks like. So, for example, if it's Abraham Lincoln Elementary, it's 8 miles from here to CSUS. On this sheet, for example, if my home is 12 miles away, then we'll be using the 8 miles, I presume.
That's
Is that
correct.
The way it's going to work?
Yes, that's correct. That's the lesser distance.
Got it. So then for miles from my home, then somebody can go ahead and look on MapQuest and see what the home mileage is, I presume.
That is correct.
And then, but you're going to use whatever's shorter.
Exactly.
Okay.
But we do need you to calculate on this sheet from your home to the site.
All right. And so once again, in order to do those calculations, an individual would simply go to Google and
Type in MapQuest.
yeah, or just go right to MapQuest, right? And let me show that to everybody once again. So just right off of Google, MapQuest, and I just jump right on over to MapQuest just like this, and I go and look at my miles from my home, etc. However, we're going to pay whatever's less in terms of compensation. It says at the bottom down here, please use the attached sample claim form to see how to list your start and end destinations. Include only one travel claim per month. So that isn't pertaining to this form, right?
No, that's referring to the actual mileage claim form.
Which is this form right here.
The travel expense claim form.
All right, so if I zoom out on this one, I zoomed out a little bit too much. So that's the actual claim form that I'm just having a little bit of difficulty getting into the window right there, but that's this, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so if I am a supervisor then, I will go ahead and I will fill out this for you first, calculating my miles from my home round trip, and the things that I'll be submitting to you once per month, however, will be this, the travel expense form.
That is correct.
All right. Let's just jump back over to the instructions really quick, and let's see where that is. All right, let me zoom in. Okay, so the travel information sheet was the item where people are going to be filling out their mileage from their home to the site round trip. And this says in this paragraph, let me zoom in on that a little bit more. Please use the attached most current travel claim form for the records. For your miles, you must use a separate form for each month that you claim mileage. If your travel claim form must be turned in by the 10th day of the month. If you travel in September, your form is due by the 10th of October. Claims received after the 10th of the month will be processed the following month. So it's not that people won't get paid, it just might be delayed if they don't turn them in a timely fashion.
That is correct.
All right. Please type directly into the claim form since you can't hand write them. So let's take a look at this claim form together right here, and let me try to zoom in just a bit, and we'll take a look at it. So all the things in yellow is where I need to be filling things in.
That is correct.
So I put in my name, I'll put in Christmas Salas, for example. A vendor number. What's a vendor number, Annie?
A vendor number is the number you're assigned as a vendor in order to get paid. Now, I want to mention it's really important that if this is your first time, filling out travel expense claims with CSUS, you will need a vendor number. So in order to get that, you will be emailing me your home address and your name and your home address, and then I will submit that so that I can get you a vendor number. We can't process your travel claim until you have a vendor number, and that vendor number never changes. Once you're assigned a vendor number, it stays with you for the time that you work for us.
So in order to obtain that, then they simply email you, and what do they send to you, Annie? I'm sorry?
The name and address.
And then how long does it take to turn that around usually?
Oh gosh, sometimes it takes a week.
Okay.
Usually less. The other thing that they want to include there is their ID number that they're assigned.
And with that ID, is that going to be a driver's license or a CSUS ID?
No, it's the CSUS ID.
So whatever's on their card then, the CSUS ID card that they have, I presume, huh?
No, that's actually a number that's assigned to them by Human Resources. And they should know that when they sign up to work for us.
All right, so presumably, and I suppose they can come to you for help if they have difficulty locating this, I presume,
Correct.
right? Okay, so the upshot is for your vendor number, just make sure that you communicate with Annie in order to get that. All right.
That's correct.
Residence address, I guess that's for the home, city, of course, state. All of this looks pretty interesting. What about the month year right here? Is that for the current month? Like if it were this month, would I be submitting this for September?
Yes, I'd like to make one clarification on the address.
Okay.
The address actually has to be your mailing address.
Oh, okay.
Because many people, they don't use their residence as a mailing. They have a P.O. box or so it has to be the address that they received their mail.
Okay, so no P.O. boxes then. It has to be a physical address. Okay.
No. They can have P.O. boxes.
Oh, okay.
It's just wherever they receive their mail.
All right, so I'll put that in, and I'll even put it in bold here. All right, so very good. When we're looking at month year, suppose I can put it in as September 2015, like that? Or
That's all we need.
Okay.
The month that you're submitting and the year.
Okay, very good. Okay. When I'm looking at the date, then, this would be the date that I'm actually doing the travel. So if that, for example, were going to be today, I'd be putting in, we're doing this on 9/29, 2015. Do I have to include the year there? Does that matter to you?
No. Don't include the year. You've already got it up above where the
All right,
month
so we
is.
can save a little bit of typing. Time, I suppose, let's say that it's 8 a.m. is when I went.
Correct.
Location where the expense occurred, how would you like that cell filled in?
All we need is where you originate your travel, which is
CS.
either home or CSUS.
Whatever's shorter, right?
Whatever the lesser distance.
And so this could be to CSUS to Apple Valley, let's say. And then do I put in a return in here too?
You just put and return.
And ampersand for an and return, just like that.
Correct.
Okay, great. I don't suppose I can claim lodging, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, I don't suppose?
No.
Okay. No incidentals, that's out.
Yes.
Cost of transportation, I presume that's out. Do I need to include the type of transportation in there?
You can. It's not necessary. We know that it's by
Probably a private car. We're probably not Ubering over to our placements. Tolls, car fare, and parking, I would put the amounts in there, I suppose. Like
that is correct.
If I went through a toll and it was $5 and parking was $5, I would put in, if my math is correct, $10.
Correct.
And that's the way that it would go in. Here are my miles and the amount. Do I have to state those in there as well?
You type in your miles,
Okay.
and then it'll automatically calculate.
So based on, let's say if I'm going based off the sheet, for example, and they say that the number of miles was 10 miles, if it was a return, if it's 10 miles and it's round trip, then I'd put in 20, I presume, right?
Correct.
And
It's
that's the
always
amount.
round trip.
Okay. That looks pretty simple. Let's say that was the only supervision I did. If there were more, I guess I would fill in the rest of this.
That's correct.
All right. And then we come on down here.
If I want to mention that if you don't have enough room for all the dates, then you just fill out an
second
additional, exactly,
okay.
travel form.
Yeah, so if if it goes on and on and on, then it would be another form. So moving down to the bottom here where it says student-teacher supervision, for example, I suppose in here is where I put in a description or something. And so if it's, do I need to fill in anything here?
You really don't need a description there. That's pretty much,
Okay.
you can go ahead and just bypass
And leave that blank. But sometimes I suppose in some like graduate programs, if we don't have the information for the school site, maybe it would be helpful. I presume.
Yes,
Okay.
you could list that there.
Sure. It looks like private vehicle license number. This would be my license number that I
That
put
is
in here?
correct, the vehicle that you use.
All right. This is not my license number, but I thought I would just type some stuff in just so you can see that it works. Looks like the chair has to sign somewhere in here. I
Yes, the
presume.
chair will sign, and then in the yellow section, you will sign. That's the claimant's signature.
And so this
and date.
Oh, so the person's got to both sign and date, and then eventually it'll come to me where I will sign and date. Is there anything else that an individual needs to know about this form, Annie? Anything
No,
else?
that's pretty much it. It's pretty
Okay.
well explained.
All right, and so then let's go back to and then they print it out and they give it to you, I presume.
That's correct. They print it out. They can either bring it in, they can fax it, or they can email it.
All right, we'll go over all those options in a moment.
Correct.
All right, so let me just jump over here. If I wanted to print this thing, just so that people can see, if I click on my print button, I think that they have to print, let's see here, print active sheet, custom scaling, that's the one. So you want to, I think, select fit on one page, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so if you've been printing these things off and it's been running off of the page, it's because you want to make sure that you select fit sheet on one page. Okay, great. Let me go ahead and go back to the letter now, and I'm not going to save that. So just as it says here, you want to, let's see, fill out the yellow parts of the form. You don't want to make any changes to the blue areas, and we've already sort of explained this part about the starting location and the ending destination and return all in one line. And then let me just move this up a little bit so everybody can see what's doing at the end of the document here. And let me get that in the window. So it looks like here, this is where they can return the form to Eureka Hall, 437, that's you. And
Correct.
is that between the hours of 8 and 5 p.m.?
That is correct.
Great. And then if they want to mail it, they would just send it to this address right here, 6000 J Street, Sacramento, California.
To my attention.
To the
yes.
attention of Annie Suarez. Now, you mentioned a fax number, Annie. Is that on any of the forms anywhere here?
You know, it's not.
Okay. But you can include it in the email, right?
Correct.
And we'll also include it on this sheet. They can also, I suppose, give you a call right here.
That is
and
correct.
ask. But let's see if we can email that out. Anything else that people need to know about this thing, Annie?
I think that pretty much covers it all.
All right. Well, thanks so much. This hopefully helps all the peeps out there who need to turn in forms. Thanks again, Annie.
You're welcome.